yeah, so Beau brought me to the cycling. As you know, I was told about it before, but I'm told about a lot of things, Margaret and everything. And but then Beau had his condition, and so I decided to, well, I like do the cycling.
Big, big, huge, wonderful dog.
Yeah. So then yeah, so I did the Bengston workshops, the regular and the advanced, and I worked with you with cycling in your special way. So we had our own private sessions, right? A package or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And then, yeah, so cycling became part of my life, and it still is. So I thank Beau for that.
Mm.
And I did a lot of other alternative things with Beau too. I did stem cells. I found a natural vet, and I did stem cells, and I did I always do homeopathy, and lots of different vitamins, and mostly the love, and what he loves, like what you love, is being out in nature. So we just continued, and I'd done that before. So he definitely had a reason to live, because he loved that, and he loved helping me.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's Beau the wonder dog.
Sounds like you miss him a lot.
Yeah, I do. So do you have any questions?
Yeah. Why were you interested in energy therapy, other than being desperate to help your beloved dog? Your
Well,
friend?
I've always, it's not new to me. I've
Yeah.
always been interested in doing energy therapy for decades.
Mhm.
Um,
And what felt different about the Bengston method, or you were just trying everything?
no, it was different, like you said.
More
I like
detached, more.
I like the manifestation. Like, it's like it to me. I combine my special way. I don't remember if this is how you, but it's spiritual to me. Like, I combine it. I
Oh,
consider it a prayer. So
aha.
it's both.
Can you
Like,
describe that? 'Cause I like that idea. Like,
it's non-detached and everything. And Bankston is, I don't know what he is, but is he definitely doesn't. He specifically says it's not. He doesn't do it in a spiritual way. But
mhm,
I believe in Creator, and frankly, I connect with Creator. I think I'm always connected, but I specifically connect with Creator, and I think that it's just like a prayer. Like,
so
it's
is it two
both.
things? When you're spinning fast, it's a prayer, and when you work with your images, it's a prayer? Like when you're working in slow motion with your images and like, okay, this is a desire, this is a goal of mine.
Uh
Is
huh.
that a spiritual process too?
Yes,
Mhm,
because I feel like my whole life is a spiritual process,
mhm,
intentionally and
yeah.
naturally.
Mhm.
And
How
so,
would you define spirit? I know maybe that's beyond what what you're ready to talk about, but like, because
but
I think Bengston is
well,
very spiritual.
here's the big thing.
Yeah.
Here's the big thing. So I can define spirit as I obviously there are many names.
Yes.
Creator's my favorite.
Mm,
So it's a co-creation. That's the whole point.
yeah.
Like, you have, and I believe in, you have to ask. It's just a rule. I forget what people call it, but you have to ask. You
It's like
know,
the
we're,
mechanism. That's the
yeah, we're
matrix, how it works in the matrix kind of thing.
yeah, like, we're free. We're meant to be free, and so we have to ask.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think cycling is the ask, and
Mm,
so that's the ask, and then it's a co-creation,
mhm,
because obviously, we know for cycling you have to have you have to know what you want, figure that out, and
yeah.
be intentional about it. And
Mhm,
so that's and then the ask. So all these steps, and then the do, which is, I think cycling I think it helps. Maybe not requires, depends on the item, but it helps when you do the do, meaning,
Yeah.
I want to lose weight. Well, it would help if I intermittent fasted and I exercised, and the physical plane stuff that goes along with it. I think the cycling speeds it up and makes it
Now, what happens
doable.
for me is when I'm reviewing my cycling list, I get an idea of something that I have time, money, and consciousness to do that day. It's like I have my notebook ready because I get like a little, I call it a spiritual guidance of like, oh, like if I'm going to lose weight, like, oh, you can support yourself this way. Like, let's do that today. And it's
Uh-huh.
something that it's really, I can do. It's sort of magical in that way because
Mm.
otherwise it's this big project and I'm in my head about manifesting things and like, let's have a plan. And not that I don't still have plans and things like that, but this spiritual part of me programming my list or like reviewing my list in the morning is I get like these little lightning bolts of ideas of like, oh, I could call so and so, or oh, I could
Oh, wow.
do
Yeah.
that thing. So that's
Yeah.
how it works for me, but I don't know how it works for you.
Sure.
But,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's part of it. And you're so aware that you're attributing it to that. Like you notice it. That's the noticing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I I
Yeah.
notice a lot, and we're talking about like spirituality and life and cycling, all of the above. Like things that manifest like that aren't on my list, like little things. Like I had extra tickets to something, and I offered one to one person, and whatever, different people. Some said yes, some said no, right? So this woman said yes, and I was glad. And then a couple days later, I had a worker here who did such a nice job and was such a nice person that I wanted to offer it to him. I'm like, darn, why didn't I think of him? Because he'd been around. I just didn't cross my mind.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, oh, darn, he would have really liked that. And then I don't know, like half an hour later, I get a text from the woman. I'm so sorry, I can't go. And I'm like, yay, I'll give the ticket to him. You know what I mean? So
Uh-huh.
I noticed that a lot. And when
Yeah.
you're aware, so I didn't specifically say, okay, I hope she doesn't go. But or sometimes I'll be like, I'm running late. So like, oh, this is funny. Like somebody was coming to help me with something and I was running late. Well, first of all, I wanted to go to a exercise class, but I didn't want to change on her. So it was just like this want to go to the exercise class. But then anyway, so then but I was like, no, I can't bother. Well, I'll let it go. And then I get a text, can I come an hour later? And I'm like, yes. So then I could go to the exercise class. And then I was running 15 minutes late. And then I get a text. I was just going to text her and tell her that. And then I get a text, she's running 40 minutes late.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What do you call those things? I think
I
they're
don't know.
cool.
I think it just puts you in a place of possibilities where you're open to. Another way to put it is, I don't know is it literally raises your vibratory frequency because you're actually a part
Mhm.
of you is vibrating as fast as you can think, gazillion
Ah,
cycles a second.
right.
And I feel
Fast.
like when we're
I think.
kind of stuck in the mud, trudging through life with just our ego telling us what to do, um, that's a lower vibration, and it can be hard. You have to manage everything. But if you're cycling, it's like you're open to it opens me to possibilities. And then I observe and I catch things that I might like. I catch those drifts, and it just helps luck happen a little more. And then I'm able to take actions that work rather than actions that don't work, or be at peace at not taking actions. Like, oh, I have all those things to do, and it's not time to do that. Okay, I'll just cycle here
Right.
and understand that
Yeah.
my inner guidance is telling me to rest, and it's fine. All that stuff's not going to really. It's just going to exhaust me, and I'm going to need to rest later. So it's just rest now
Yeah.
and then do it when the time is better. So I feel like I'm tuning into I'm just tuning. So I'm a sound healer, right? I
Right.
used
Yeah.
to be senior faculty of the 𝗥𝗲𝗀𝗃𝗃𝗃 Institute of
Yeah.
Integrative Medicine. And so for me, when I cycle different frequencies, I'm tuning in to different consciousnesses. And I don't have to know what they are. I just have to, oh, that feels right there. So my inner resonator, my heart, my whole body now says, oh, that's a nice frequency to be cycling at right now. And it's very, very, very fast. It's on the tip of no speed. It's on the tip of not even going, it's going so fast that it's still. But sometimes I dip back down into the slower speeds and I can feel that it's, oh, this is a nice speed to be cycling at right now. And I like to find the speed rather than create it. Although I can do both, and I do both. That it's this, like you said, this co-creation.
Uh-huh.
So if I ask, like, what's a great, like, so I'm cycling right now. What's a great speed to cycle at right now? And there's a distinct speed, and I'm there, and I'm just doing it while I'm talking. So I feel like it helps me have one foot in the place that supports me, the psycho-spiritual place that supports me, and another very much in the here and now, talking to you, thinking about what I'm going to say next, what what I'm going to ask you next, what I'm, like the whole conversation. I'm very much present in it. I'm in my body. It doesn't take me out of my body, and yet I'm still connected. Before then, the only way I knew how to like connect to spirit was to meditate or to contemplate or pray. And what I like about cycling, and I still do those things, it's not like I don't do those things, but right now one of the things I like about cycling is it helps me be in the here and now in a fuller way, in a higher way, in a more powerful way. That's what I like. Anyway, we're interviewing you, not me, sorry.
No, I love that. I love that.